Welcome to the show, where three generations of family go head to head on a multitude of topics. At the Gen Zer, Chris. At the baby boomer turned to Gen Xer, Kaya. And me, the millennial, Noe B. No matter what the topic may be, you know it's going to be up for debate. Greetings, peoples.
Hey, buddies.
What it do?
Is this the first New Year recording?
Episode of 2023.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Confetti everywhere.
You gonna add that in?
Confetti everywhere. You see, I got my Simpson.
Would I be wearing this hat?
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
I miss you all.
Oh, wait a minute. I just realized I kind of had a moment. A real slow moment. I just realized you said that you missed us. Miss you too.
That was a tender moment. I don't hardly see you.
What do you mean?
I mean, I saw you on my birthday.
No, I'm talking to Chris. I don't hardly see him either. I mean, even though we live in the same house, it's not like we just rock. We rock steady. That's what I feel now. So, I think what better way to start off this year's debate for debate with one that is near and dear to us. We're a family show. We're all family, right? So what better way to start off the year with a debate about family?
Nothing like procreation.
So we're going to start off this year's shows with the pinnacle of family, and that's fatherhood. Right? Now, in one of our last shows with Between Family, we had spoke about one of my top topics from last year was Nick Cannon finally admitting that he did not have enough time to spend with all his children. But then Akon was on some interview and he defended Nick Cannon having numerous children with multiple women, saying a man's role in fatherhood is not about spending time with your children. Men, fathers, their role is not about showing up to dance recitals and stuff like that. That's not important. That's a white man's thing. Who gives a blank about a recital?
F them kids.
What was the follow up to that though? It's not about this, but I'm assuming he followed that up with it's about this.
Yes, he said that the father's role is to basically show the son how to take care of the household, to teach the child how to be the man of the house. Not even teaching the man child, but it's not about being there for like the recitals or for like the little things, like the shows or for the games and stuff like that, being involved in the child's everyday life. That's the mother's role. But it's the father's role to be the provider and to be the one to catch the fish and to, you know what I'm saying? He was basically saying that that's the ultimate role of the man, not to be there for like the menial things.
And when your kid is like 16, it's his job to now turn him into a man.
Yes. So the debate obviously is, does Akon have a point? Is the role of a father just that, of the broad brush, doing just the, teaching the children how to be.
I think Akon low key has a point. Not that what he's saying is objectively correct, but in terms of the societal perception of men, there's this joke that Chris Rock did where he said, basically in layman's terms, women and children are the only people that are loved unconditionally. Whereas men are, the love that we receive is solely based on what we're able to provide. Hence why when you date, you tell your boys who you're messing with or whatever, they ask, what does she look like? Whereas if you ask a woman when she starts to date, about the dude that she's with, they go, well, what does he do? What is he able to provide? So I think in that vein of the societal perception that men are supposed to be the, caretakers or providers in that sense, I think that's where most of our value is placed, even if that's not something that we're readily able to admit. The emotional aspect of it really just started becoming, relevant in terms of people being aware of men's mental health and all these other things. But before that, we really weren't looked at as anything else other than, individuals that are supposed to provide this, certain thing.
You have a very interesting look on your face.
Who, me?
Mm-hmm.
Because I vehemently disagree. I vehemently disagree because of the fact that we have, obviously the man had, and I'm saying this because I grew up without my father. Now, this month, almost a week from now, or
It's
2
a
weeks
year.
from now, is a year to the day that my father died. And my father never gave me anything. I think the first thing that I really got from him was after he left this earth, because I started performing at the age of 3. I can't even count how many stages I performed on. I can't even count how many arenas and stages in those arenas that I performed at. And I would have loved to look out and seen my father in the audience. I can't count how many times that I've cried and I would have loved to have my father's shoulder to cry on, but I did not have that. So I don't, and it's not about what he gave me. It's not about monetary gain. It's about being there. It's not about me saying that I have something now of his after he died. I don't care about that. I would have rather had time. I would have rather had space shared. I would have rather had memories shared, which I don't. And I think that that is something that, because of what we have learned, that learned behavior that we have literally been ingrained so much within our culture for centuries, we have done that. The man has to go out and till the field, and the woman stays home and churn the butter. The man goes out and buy the groceries, and the woman comes, and the woman, like, I believe that parenting is a joint effort. One thing that I love about my husband, everything that I do as a mom, he don't feel that what I do as a mom, he can't do as a dad. If I'm doing here, he do here. If I'm changing pampers, he changing pampers. If I'm washing clothes, he washing clothes. Like, it's nothing that I do that he won't do. Now, granted, I ain't hanging brick. I ain't laying pipe. I ain't fixing. Now, could I do it?
Hanging brick is crazy.
Like, I don't know what other word to say. Like, there's certain things that he can do strength wise that I can't do. Like there's certain things, like I said, when it was time to do the driveway over, I said I wanted to be able to do it. Now, granted, he went and got it done on his own, but I said I wanted to do it, when the time came. But he went and got somebody to do it. I don't have to do it now. But I had said I was researching how to do it. I was YouTubing how to do it on my own. Now maybe I will stain the deck when it's time to stain the deck. Maybe I will try and do certain things like that. But I feel like everything can be shared as far as duties are concerned when it comes to parenting. Like it should not be like the man does this and the wife does this, the husband does. Like your father, be a father. Your mother, be a mother. Your son can depend on you for certain things, and your daughter can depend on you for certain things. Like I don't know what it's like to have girl children. I've never had girl children. I've only had boy children. So I'm a certain type of mother because I only have boy children. I think if I had girl kids, my girl kids would be tomboys because of the way that I am. Like I'm not a dainty mother. I'm like, oh girl, but my girl's hair would be laced. Let me tell you something. My little girl's hair would be laced for the gods, but she wouldn't be dainty. I mean, she would be dressed. Let me tell you something. She would be dressed, but you understand what I'm saying? Like every duty and role can be shared. There's not. I don't agree with Akon. If you were at a recital, those daddy-daughter dances, you know how many daddy-daughter dances that I couldn't do because my father wasn't there? Akon can suck with that statement.
Whoa. But here's the thing. I think that where you're coming from is based on where you live. There are different cultural perceptions of parenting depending on where you are in the world. How we view things is going to be completely different from how Eastern cultures view things, how African cultures view things. It's different. Like people that, we work with, certain Guyanese families, you know what I'm saying? Like the way the wife does things is different from how the husband handles things. They come home and he's like almost indentured servitude, where we'd look at that as, oh, she's a slave, but she's comfortable doing that because that's just culturally how they were brought up. So for you to say, that certain people's opinions is wrong because it's not in line with what we feel things should be on this side of the planet, I don't think is necessarily right.
No, I'm saying how a child feels. I'm coming from the thought process of a child.
In America.
I'm coming from a child's thought. If a child is in a room and they are having feelings and they are or if they're in a show and their father is not there, it ain't in America. It's their father is not there. It could be in Bucharest.
But you've never been to Bucharest to say that, is what I'm saying. You don't know the cultural standards that are differing between America and other places. There are vastly different ways in which father's father and which and how mother's mother. Like the way we do things in America is so hodgepodge because it's so many different kinds of people and so many differing opinions. But when you go to other cultures, it's stringent. Everybody does basically the same thing the same way. America is the only place in which there's a melting pot and you have all these different ways of child rearing.
King Leonidas.
I was about to say that. That's funny. I was about to bring up Leonidas. That's hilarious.
You was?
That was literally.
Give me some.
Are we bringing up Gerard Butler right now?
King Leonidas' father took him when he was a young lad.
King Leonidas also died amongst 15 other dudes in a circle with arrows in his chest.
But he kicked that sucker down a well like nobody's business. Let me tell you something. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Noe, because you was about to bring up. No, sorry.
No, finish.
You go. Okay, King Leonidas' father, because this is in most cultures, in most Eastern cultures, they take the male child It's only with the male child. They take the male child when he's a certain age, take him out into the wilderness, take him away from the mother, because when he's if you try to do stir certain things and the mother's dead, the mother's gonna be like, no, you ain't doing that with my baby. What? My baby? Mm-mm. So they take him away from the mother. You see, the lion. It was the big old lion. And teach him how to hunt in the cold, bucket naked, with just a loincloth. Just a loincloth. And a stick. And in the snow.
Again, this was a movie where Gerard Butler had bronzer
No, but
on
it was it was
and mad CGI.
It was Greek. He was Greek. It was Sparta. Wait, no. Where was Sparta? It was Persia? Where's Sparta? It was in Greek, right? It was Greece. Over there in Persia. I'm not Persia.
Oh, you heard that too?
She said, "Where's Sparta? Spurgia?"
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna bring up I was just gonna bring up Leonardo. Like, you got to come back out the jungle with the lion head.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, I get both sides of it. I don't agree with Akon personally, but I totally understand Chris's take though. I understand Chris's take. I agree with Chris's take, but I disagree with what Akon was saying, because I think Chris was more so talking about the perspective, or the perception of men or fathers in the world. But I think Akon is actually talking about, you know, how he chooses to parent and how he chooses to do things, within his home. I don't agree with that. I don't think you can be like, it's not a father's job to be at the, like, when you say it's not my job to be there, then it's kind of like, all right, at least to me, it's like, okay, I don't agree with that. I can understand if you make a statement like, yo, like, I'm out here on the grind, I'm hustling, my job requires me to travel, so I can't be there. But to say that it's not my job to be there for my kid, or these recitals don't matter, or this doesn't matter, and all this other stuff don't matter, like, that ain't true. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Because I think every person wants their parents to be at, whatever it is they're doing, or if you have siblings or whatever the case may be, like, you want that support. You want to see, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, especially as a kid, I mean, let's be real, your best friend are your parents first. So, I mean, you want that support. So I think the idea of it not being your job to be there for your kid, no, I don't agree. I don't agree with that. Like, I'm not waiting until my son or my daughter is 18 years old to have a, true physical and working relationship with them. I'm not doing that. Because by then it's like, do I even know who this kid is? Like, I've been FaceTiming and sending money. Oh, now and like, to me, it's just like, so you could have been in my life, but you chose not to because you didn't feel like it was necessary. So essentially, granted, I'm glad you made money and, I don't have to work for anything or whatever the case. That's great. But I would have rather the relationship. Like, it's not like, oh, I was with my child and all this other stuff, you know, instead of having $600 million, I only got $300 million, or I only got 500 million. Like, we all right either way. Like, you don't have to sacrifice the relationship with your kids to that extent. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you feel like it doesn't matter until they're like that. So the relationship with your kid doesn't matter for 18 years, is basically what you're saying. And I just don't agree with that. And I think too, what he's saying about Nick Cannon, I don't even think Nick Cannon is actually saying or agrees. I don't say he doesn't agree with it, but I don't think that that's the role that Nick Cannon plays. I think he said, well, in him saying that he doesn't have time, I think he's just acknowledging, like, got 12 kids, spread pretty thin, but I try to be there for all of them. That's totally different from what Akon was saying. Akon, to me, is in a boat by himself with the way that he was describing it, because what he was saying and the way Nick Cannon talks about it are two very different things. Being spread thin and feeling like it's not your responsibility are two totally different things. So yeah, I'm not with Akon.
I think that that's a very good point about actually having a relationship and actually knowing your children, because I think that's one of the things that mean a lot to me is having a relationship. And Chris, you know, like I'm always like, so what's up? What's good? Like I want to know what's going on. I want to know you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be like, hey, like I want to know what's going on with you. I want a relationship with you. I want a relationship with my kids. You know what I mean? I don't want to just be like, oh, sit down. You know what I mean? I don't I just don't want to be a disciplinarian. You
That better
know,
not be
even
in that toilet.
you know,
Like,
you better not be playing in that toilet. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just be a disciplinarian, but I also want to have a relationship so that if you are lying to me, I can be like, that nigga lying. That nigga lying. I know that nigga lying. I know that nigga lying. Or if something is not right, something not right. You know what I mean? Because I can sense, you know, what's going on because you're not just
I know you.
exactly. Like I feel like there's more than just being a parent. You are supposed to have a connection and I'm supposed to be able to protect you. And the same thing with your father. You're supposed to be able to protect, and I can't protect what I don't know and what I don't see. You know what I'm saying? I can't protect you from afar.
He probably feels that way. He's probably thinking I got security for my family.
Protection
It's just different.
is not just about not just about guns and butter, Ving.
But
Ving
based on
Rhames.
his thinking,
You
that's
know,
based on his
Also,
logic, I feel like I don't know. His logic is a little skewed. That's the best way I can put it.
I mean, outside of Akon, I feel like fatherhood is not vastly different, but depending on whether or not you're fathering a daughter or a son, the type of father that you are is a little different.
you know what I think of when I think obviously fatherhood is the ultimate father is God, right? God is our father. And I always liken anytime I think of fatherhood to God our Father and the way that he is so unconditional, the way that he is so omnipresent, the way he is just everything, you know, and we can just come to him for everything and he is just able to do. He's able to see, he's able to hear. He's, you know, and he's just ever present. And I feel like a father is just everything, as well as a mother. But the father is the one that is just that seed. That father is the one that plants that seed and just makes it all happen. So when I think of a father, I'm just like, it's like a no-brainer. So is my father going to be there? Yeah. Can my father do it? Hell yeah. My father can do anything. My father going to be, yeah. What, is he going to make it? Yeah, my father. Because it's my father. My father can do anything. You know what I'm saying? So by you saying, Akon, fathers don't do that. That's a white man's thing. You're subscribing to your own detriment, you stupid fool. You're subscribing to that same thinking. That's white man. What?
It's a white man's job to be there for his kids. It's like, okay. Because even after he said that, all mad black dudes started posting pictures of them with their daughters
with their kids
at recitals
present.
and basketball games and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, I don't know about that.
You making yourself look like a dodo bird. Oh, it's my job to provide, to protect. Yes, it is. And it's also your job to be there. Period.
My daddy once caught a bullet.
What my daddy once caught a bullet with his teeth.
My daddy kicked your daddy's ass up and down that great wall. My daddy once put 15 people in jail one night.
Everybody want to brag about their daddy. Come on now, Akon. You talking crap. You are talking crap out here.
I wonder what his kid. I mean, I'm interested. I don't know how many kids he has,
I'm Googling that right now.
but I'm interested to know like what they think of him. Like, yeah, my dad's rich. Anything else? I guess the nigga cool too. I mean, he rich.
But it's like, it's crazy. It says how many kids, when you put how many kids, the first thing that comes up is how many kids Nick Cannon have.
He's got a full basketball team roster with subs.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, 12 players. That man
He
has a
has
whole
6 children.
man's got an empire.
And this was as of April 2022.
What's the justification? Like, if I don't know how many women he's had kids with. Could just be one. I have no idea. I don't know if he's married or not or anything else.
Well, he has multiple wives.
Oh,
Wives or
wives. He's
women
a
that
polygamist.
are bearing children.
Oh, he on his Umar Johnson.
Yes. He has 6 children from 3 different women.
Tough.
It says that the singer is reported to be a polygamist and has married at least 4 wives.
They called him a singer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, like, what's the justification? Like, how does that conversation happen with his children's mothers? Like, hey, so Ezekiel has a basketball game come up. He'd love for you to be there. Like, what's your response to that? Or, you know, Tamia has a dance recital coming up. Is that response that you gave at that table the response you give them? Like, nigga, I ain't coming to that.
Like, exactly. And if they're all grade school, especially like during like graduation season,
see, but
and
that's
you
the
know
thing.
graduation is all around May, June.
After a certain point, bro, like, let's be real. You can't spread your love evenly amongst 12 people. I'm gonna start having favorites. Like,
I'm gonna just start seeing who's closest.
yeah, just no way you could love 12 kids equally. It's just not possible.
And then it's only 12 months in a year. Are all the kids' birthdays in different months? Or are their kids'
No, we
birthdays
just
in the
doing
same
one
month?
big party
What
in January.
happens in December with Christmas? Oh, Jesus.
One big party in January at the top.
You are
of the
literally
year.
like Santa with reindeers.
It's just gonna be a celebration of life party for all the kids. We ain't doing 12 different parties at 12 different occasions.
If you want to sled, talk about on daughter. On Yo.
That's why he got it working so hard, man. Can you imagine having to put 12 kids through college?
It's hard enough. It's hard enough for one family that has multiple kids in one family, but you have multiple kids with what, 6 different women?
Is it 6?
Well, how many kids?
More than one is crazy.
Nick
Because he's got
Cannon
like 3 with like he got
3. He got 3 with a few of them. He got 2.
I feel
with
like he picked
Mariah,
the women
2 with,
who he wanted to have kids with, and was just like, I'm gonna
just keep.
circle back next week.
Gotta find my way back.
Because it's like Nick Cannon welcomes 5th child, and then like 2 weeks later, it's like, Nick Cannon welcomes sixth child. Then like 2 months later, and it's just like, oh, okay, you was
Yo, People Magazine is so shady. And this was updated on January 13th at 6 p.m. Nick Cannon's 12 kids. Everything to know. Oh, Father. So Mariah Carey has Moroccan and Monroe. And then
the twins.
The twins. And
Wait,
then
his name is Moroccan?
like Morocco, but it's Moroccan. And then he has sons Golden Sagon and Rise Messiah, and daughter Powerful Queen with Brittany Bell.
That's the
Her
thing
name-
too. After a certain number, you just start running out of names because you call them right. Powerful Queen, that was her name.
Powerful
Like,
Queen.
First name Powerful, last name Queen.
No,
Powerful
middle
Queen
name
Cannon.
Queen. Middle name is Queen. And Brittany Bell was a wildin' out girl. A few of these was wildin' out girls. Then he has twins Zion, Mixolydian, and Zillion Air, and daughter Beautiful Zeppelin with Abby De La Rosa. And then he has a son, Legendary Love, with Bree Tiesi.
These names suck.
And a daughter, Onyx Ice Cold, with
Yo, you're making this up. You got to be making this up.
No, I'm so serious. He has the daughter, Onyx Ice Cole, with Lanisha Cole. And Cannon is father of 2 children with Alyssa Scott and son Zen, who died. That's the one he just had a baby with. The baby died in December of 2021, but then he just had a baby with her.
He spun the block.
Basically.
The crazy thing is the baby died in December of 2021, and he had another baby with her in December 2022. Who's the daughter name is Halo Marie. So the baby died December 2021 and had another daughter with her December 14, 2022, named Halo. So that was the 12th one. The baby had brain cancer.
These names are terrible, dude.
But the thing about it is, so I don't know if the baby had brain cancer because of some type of mutation with the 2 of them. But remember, Nick has lupus. And I don't know if he has any other type of autoimmune disease. But, you know, lupus is hereditary. That gene is like, that's why I'm always on you and Winky, and I'm just like, yo, have them test your antibodies, you know what I'm saying? Because autoimmune is hereditary, and the last thing I need is for y'all to be having anything. That's why I ain't want to have no girl children, because I ain't want no kids to have what I had. So he out here procreating with all these women, and you know you have these sicknesses.
Playing the statistics game at this point.
Because the baby that he's holding in his hand right now on people.com in the left arm looks, and you know, all babies are blessings, but the baby looked.
Anytime you start a sentence with all babies are blessings.
No, but the baby looks sick. The baby looks a little sick. I don't know. So you keep on having babies. Like, are these babies coming out sick?
Maybe that's it. Like I say, you might be playing a statistics game right now.
Yeah, that's a lot.
If you get 12, 3 of them got to be straight.
because his daughter, the daughter with Mariah, she's already wearing glasses. She
How
was
old is
wearing
she?
glasses, but she was wearing glasses when she was like younger than.
Yeah,
Oh,
when they were
nah.
kids, like when they were babies, they had
Yeah,
glasses.
she was wearing like them Otis glasses from Martin, like the old old
Yeah.
Otis. You know, the security guard from Martin.
You know, like they give kids, like when they're really young, glasses that essentially like you can strap to their head.
She was wearing those.
Damn.
So I don't know. And I mean, I obviously the word says to be fruitful and multiply, but I had such a, and I know we're not supposed to live in fear, but I had such a thing about having girl children because of my issues. I was just like, Lord, when I got pregnant, but I was like, Lord, please. And I think, and I honestly feel that that's why I had the miscarriage, because it was a girl.
Interesting.
And he just out here just
Chicken and dicking.
like, and it's sad, and it's sad. That's why white people don't like us, because we out here and they dying off. They dying off. They race. They ain't even got no race, but they dying off, and we over here just procreating. We ain't killing our babies. That we just keep on. we just over here just keep procreating.
That's because they over there third cousin in it in Alabama.
We just fertile myrtle, and they just.
He said third cousin. On that Clayton Bigsby.
Got a bunch of rain men out of
My name Lil Dow. My name Lil Dow. My name Lil Dow. That's what's going on. We out here populate. We out here populating the earth, and they can't. We out here making brown babies. No matter what we procreate with, we make one of us. They procreate. They procreate with one of us. We make one of us. Like they procreate with them.
No, that's facts. Hence why I think Michael Jackson kids wasn't his.
Can we talk about that since we talk about fatherhood? Don't miss the conclusion for next week's episode of Up for Debate.